So, as you may all already know, you are already aware of the situation going on between me and the mods of Alternate Battlegrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are all already aware that the mods, such as Gojo, Riza, and Bowtie, are all biased towards the towards the older generation type people, or the people who are more active. We are all also already aware of the fact that I was unfairly banned, and quite literally, I will show within this YouTube video right now a screenshot of Gojo himself saying that I was banned for no reason, and still not to let me back in. Don't do that, none of that. This is professional.
Fair.
I will also be showing screenshots right now of Gojo calling me a bunch of things. I am now going to ask you all a few questions. One of these things that Gojo called me is an egotistical asshole. Now, I am aware that I do have some sort of ego. However, everyone has an ego.
Yeah.
My question for you now, question number 1, and I will be asking you guys one by one. I can't have you all answer at once because I need everybody to pick up on who is talking. Now, David, what do you think of that statement? That I am an a self-centered, egotistical asshole. What is your opinion on that?
Well, for starters, not self-centered. You was just defending yourself. If there's a difference in that, which obviously the mods do not believe.
Mm-hmm.
But if, like you said, everybody has an ego. I have one. Everyone will have one. If they're good at something, everybody will have a high-ass ego. What I'm confused is, for starters, she called you that because you were defending yourself and you explained the whole situation. The mod didn't even bother to listen to your reasoning and just made a whole paragraph talking bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about self-centered and asshole part of me? What is, like, him calling me that? What do you have to say to that?
For starters, you're not self-centered. If you're self-centered, you'll probably be in a worse situation than you are right now. I'm gonna give that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not really much of an asshole. You're just more of like toxic. That's the word.
Okay. Joey, what
Yo,
is your opinion on him calling me a self-centered, egotistical asshole?
David took the words out of my mouth. I agree on everything he just said. You were just defending yourself, and the way they kept treating you, not right. And you do have an ego. We all know this. Everyone has an ego. My ego's pretty high. But you don't deserve to be banned for something you didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Void? AJ.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, what is your opinion on Gojo calling me a self-centered, egotistical asshole?
I don't think you're really self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really much of a prick either, so yeah, but the egotistical part is not really that true.
Not really that
Everyone,
true.
it's,
Okay,
it's
so
not true at all like that.
He's
Because,
annoying.
well, my assumption, egotistical, well, to me, basically just means, oh yeah, I'm better than everyone, etc., etc. It's
mm-hmm.
slightly like that, but you actually know your limits of who you can't beat and stuff. So,
Right.
therefore, that's why I say it's not all that type of true.
Okay, so
Anybody will have an ego if they're good at the game.
right.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you were to explain, if you were to say, all three of you, I see Swag is here. Swag, you can wait a minute. Dave, AJ, and Joey, if all three of you can give 1 point on how I am not self-centered, what would it be?
Care about the clan.
People's second chances.
You're very caring towards others. You treat everyone with respect.
And you ask about other people's
Everyone
mental
that
state.
deserves it. Everyone that deserves
Listen, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. When you're very caring towards others, and when people are down, clan members when they're like feeling suicidal, or I'm not gonna say anything like that, but like you're always there for them, and you're always so caring, and you treat us all like equally, even though they're like not on the same level as you. You
Right.
don't treat others like they're below you.
Right.
You treat them
And
equally.
You never does.
You care for them.
how do I react if someone is messing with you guys, whether it be joking or not?
You go in full force. Well, first you assess
go-
the situation and then you go in.
Yes,
Right.
you ask questions, and then that's how you deal with it. You
Right.
get both sides. You don't come at the same time. You DM the person. You
Right.
DM both of them and get both sides.
So Void,
Hmm.
when somebody said that they were going to jump you, what was my response?
Your response was that you was going to mess them up completely.
Right. Swag.
Your response was, "Oh, wait, you heard me."
Yeah, I heard you. Swag. Buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Our conversation is among the several different topics that we are going to be talking about within this VC. One of them is Gojo, an admin or mod, whatever, same shit. A mod, very active within their community, banned me for literally no reason and admitted himself that it was for no reason, right? But claims it's because the entire community hates me, quote unquote, right? And so he makes a big, long ass paragraph, and in that paragraph, he calls me a self centered, egotistical asshole. What is your opinion on that?
You're not egotistical. You just defend your clan, bro.
Mm-hmm. And so,
Um,
what is your? Do you think I'm self centered?
hell no.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that?
I'm not good at explaining, but I just know you're not. I've known you for a long time.
So, I believe it was you when you needed money for lunch a while back. You needed like $10, and you asked me, "What did I do?"
You gave me $10.
I cash apped you $10, even though
Yep.
Pussy stuff.
this was a while ago because you never really needed anything since. But I gave you $10. I
Nope.
didn't even ask for shit back neither. Right or wrong?
Nope. Right.
When you said you were $10 short on lunch, you didn't even ask me for it. I just said, "What's your cash app? Let me give it to you."
Yep. I
And then I
remember that.
gave you $10.
That's W right there.
I don't believe
Sorry for
that's
coughing. I'm
self-centered.
still getting over being sick.
You're fine. If that's self-centered, then I don't know what isn't self-centered. Now, another thing I'm going to be talking about, in which case I'm going to have to probably make a separate video with Jake involved along with AJ. However, AJ is here, so I will be able to use you for here. So AJ, you're
Okay.
familiar with the clan Ashen or Ashen or whatever the fuck they're pronounced.
Yes.
Okay. So, here is proof. I'm going to be showing on the YouTube video right now of my other YouTube video. Here is proof that one of the mods is extremely biased against us. We went to war with Ashen, or Ashen, or whatever. I'm going to call him Ashen because why not? We went to war with Ashen, right? And the mod Riza Tease or Tiz or whatever is a part of their clan. Literally a member of their clan. I am aware of this because they were there fighting alongside them during the war. And they literally said it somewhere. I'll have to find the chat in the specific YouTube video itself. But they literally said somewhere that they're a pro-teamer clan or whatever, right? So that's already proof right there that the mod is going to be biased towards that clan. Furthermore, the entire clan, the second that they found a clan that was able to beat them, they did everything in their power to get us banned through the easily manipulated childish mods that this community has.
And
They
they still
pinged me
failed.
4 times talking shit. I did exactly what the mods told me to do before. Instead of immediately reacting, I went to the mods' DMs and be like, can you handle this? And the mods, 3 of them, refused to do their jobs. I am showing up screenshots now of them proving it. Of proving it that they failed to do their jobs. That they refused to do their jobs. And with that being said, I decided if they're not going to do their jobs, I'm just going to do the same shit I did before. I am now going to respond. I responded and got banned for defending myself. In which case, I did not do anything against the rules. They banned me because, oh, I'm not liked by some of the community, which is not bannable. What is your
Yeah, that's
opinion
not
on
a bannable offense. Ban somebody, they have to be either hacking, exploiting, or
that? Or
doing
doing
something that's against the
anything
rules.
against
Not
the
being
rules?
liked by not being liked by the community is not a bannable offense.
Right. Joey,
Just
then
cut.
what's your opinion? Imagine you were playing DBR or whatever, and you got banned just because a couple people don't like you. What's your opinion on that?
Me?
Yep.
I find that childish. Just because a couple people don't like you doesn't mean the entire game doesn't like you. You know, just because like administrators don't like you, you can't ban them for that. That's childish. And if we were like that, we would have like no members in our clan.
Right.
In
And
my opinion, for them to ban you because of that, that means that they were just tired of people complaining and was like, "Fuck it."
But
That's
like you,
childish, and that's not
and
them doing their job
that
right.
just shows that they don't do their job right. They don't take they don't like what's the fuck word? What's the word? They don't cooperate enough with each other to handle the
There's no
situation.
communication.
There's no communication at all.
And
And
refuse to take my side of things.
yes, they did not ask you any type of
To me, it
questions.
feels like they're just trying to
They
avoid
attacked
drama.
you. They didn't ask you any questions. They didn't go on your side. They didn't want to listen to you. They attacked you and they didn't want to listen to you. So that's why you got banned because they jumped you.
Right.
And you can't do anything because you don't have any of your administrating powers. You don't have any of that. You're just there, play their game.
Right. AJ, back to the self-centered part. What have I done for you specifically when you joined?
You you actually helped me out learn more about a clan and also helped train me to get better at the game.
What was the skill
And
difference between me
most,
and you before you joined?
I couldn't even touch you.
What's the skill difference now?
I can slightly touch you and get you into your second phase, but other than that, I can. I still struggle.
I would destroy you, Nathan.
No, AJ, you're actually a lot better. I actually have to sit up when I fight you now. So,
Yeah.
AJ, you got a lot better ever since you joined, and that's because you joined my trainings. I let you learn from me. Now, I'm not saying that's some privilege, which it kind of is, but I'm not being an asshole about it. And I'm just saying I did do things for other people.
Yeah, you didn't hold all the power to yourself.
Right. Joey, for you
You.
specifically, what have I done for you ever since you joined the clan? From beginning way back in DBR to now.
Oh, DBR. Yo, DBR. I was terrible at the game, and then you were like top 10 and the best of like the game itself. You trained me a lot. I eventually reached top 25, and then without you, I would like probably be the worst player there. I'm so surprised you recruited me because of how bad I was.
I recruited you
And then
because of you and Jinx together. Y'all made perfect teamwork.
I know, and you recruited me because I can work well with others and I can coordinate people good.
Right.
But
And
other
and
and then
here is a pretty solid question. Whenever people mess with you, what was my response? Did I even respond when people in the game that you played messed with you?
no, sometimes you don't even respond. You just immediately join me and you help me.
That's what I mean. I mean,
But
like, what was my response? As in, like, how do I react to it?
you just immediately join. You don't really ask questions. You be like, "All right, I got you. I'll help you right now."
Okay. Did I or did I not?
Even if you're at work or something, like even if you're super like busy, you're like, yeah, give me 5 minutes, I'll join you, and that's still good. Like you're working and you're still taking time out of your life to help out me.
Right. And so, what is your Okay. Did I or did I not get jumped? Don't do that. Did I or
Guys,
did I not get jumped 10v1 just to help you out?
yes, you did. If we're talking about DBR, yes, we had a whole server attacking us.
Hmm. I don't see anything self-centered here. Okay. So, more things said within the message that Gojo said. He said that I am extremely toxic and have no redeeming qualities. That's something interesting, I gotta say. So, no
You
redeeming
don't have any
qualities to my
redeeming.
toxicity. Swag,
Well, what?
can you list one redeeming quality to my toxicity?
Like, what you mean?
What is something that would be like, oh, he's toxic to these people, but he does this, so I like him because he does this.
You might be toxic, but you got our backs whenever we need it, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
help us out with no questions asked.
Mm-hmm. Joey, can you name me one redeeming quality?
Listen, you're like the funniest person, but you're also the rudest person at the same time. But whenever someone needs you, you're always there for them, no matter what. You're the joking toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not toxic, and then you're not gonna redeem yourself. Like you're not gonna like leave it like that. You're gonna tell them, oh, yo, I'm just joking.
Right.
So or like you redeem yourself by like showing them that you're there for them.
There was a couple times in the past, I don't know if you remember it, but there was a couple times when you were talking about leaving the clan because of other people, other admins, or even myself joking too
Yeah.
wrongly. How did I
Nah,
respond to that?
I remember that quite well.
How did I respond to
So
that?
you helped me out. You stopped them from doing all their toxic stuff, and then I, you know, started bullying them back. But we're not gonna talk about that. But you helped me out, and you kept me in the clan.
Hmm. Hey AJ,
Yes.
if you can you say one redeeming quality to my toxicity? Something that has
I
not
can
been
say
shared yet.
a lot. I can actually say a lot.
Okay. Say
For
two then.
one, whenever you're toxic, you're actually good about it. You don't just straight up make insults and not try to apologize right after. But if it's a war, it's different. They deserve it. You're
Right.
also a great leader in hand of everything. If one of your members are feeling down or anything, you'll go straight to help them. If they're getting bullied, you'll also try to help them during that. You also take time out of your day to even help them. Even when you're doing something important, you would definitely try to be there.
Mm-hmm.
For that, I see multiple great redeeming qualities in you.
Okay. Now, to the Ashen group, towards this now. Now we're going to talk about this. See, every time it seems, because this would explain why there's not many clans within the Alternate Battlegrounds community, because it seems that maybe every single time, because this is my theory, what if every single time Ashen comes up with a formidable clan, they get Riza or somebody else to try and get them banned? Now, David, as my highest ranking member of my clan, you would know everything that is in my clan, yes or no?
Yes.
Do we have a KOS, kill on sight list?
We don't have one.
Say one more time.
We've never had one.
Okay. Do we have a targeting of any kind within the clan? Targeting being when they leave a server, we leave the server and join through their account to go back to war with them. Do we do that?
No, we do
Okay.
not.
AJ, one of my more active members, are you familiar with any of these actions?
No.
Okay. Now, clans like Ashen and the group or game developers or whatever they want to call themselves, Fallen Stars, want to accuse TRM and me of having a KOS list. And they use quote unquote proof, right? But yet each and every bit of their quote unquote proof of us being or targeting is them attacking us first. So who's doing the targeting?
Doing this targeting. Because basis of this, if they were to really know that it's you doing a kill on sight list, they would have to have one themselves in order for that to work.
And David,
We just unfortunately kept running into them because one, not many people play the game for bases, but still, in order for them to physically like know you to like even have proof against you, they would have to have a kill on sight themselves.
right. So, David, if I'm playing a game and say Swag joins me and we fight, I beat his ass, he leaves.
Yep.
And then
Mm-hmm.
the next day, I'm in a game, Swag
Mm-hmm.
joins me, and he starts fighting me.
Yep.
Am I targeting for fighting back?
No, because remember, this game is an open world PvP game. So if you see someone randomly, you just start fighting. There's really no kill on sight there.
Right. And it's also self-defense, especially judging from the fact that if you get hit with one M1 combo, you then get into combat. And now if you reset, you will then lose all your stats.
Choose of losing, avoiding KDR loss.
Exactly. AJ, does any of this sound right to you?
No.
With them, with us apparently targeting them.
We never target them.
Right. What causes us to attack them?
First.
Them attacking one of our members.
When they jump one of our members, we get involved, right?
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
virtually the only time we get involved. When it's one-on-one, it's one-on-one. We leave it one-on-one. But when it becomes
If you
two-on-one,
lose,
we make it two-on-two. Then they make it 3
Yep.
on 2. We make it. By the time they make it 3 on 2, we make it 11 on 3. Because they want to
Yeah.
keep outnumbering us, so we will show them what outnumbering is.
Yep.
We give them the warning, and they continue going.
To where they don't do it just once in a different server, they constantly do it. And it's the same person each time, which is you, mainly.
Right.
They'll constantly find you and continue to jump you specifically.
Right.
Look at the cute doggy.
Now, does it make any sense for me at work to get pinged 4 times with them, each ping, them talking shit on me, and then me to not respond? Does that make any sense?
No.
David, if you got pinged
They're
4
too
times,
annoying.
and those 4 times end up turning into a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9 pings later, would you or would you not respond?
I would be responding because I'm confused on who keeps pinging me,
Exactly! The
who's
fuck
bothering me
you
while I'm
pinging
at
me
work.
for?
Like,
And
like,
does
like
it make any sense for them
exactly.
to be starting this fight with me, and then I get the penalty for defending myself against them starting this on me? I will be showing screenshots right now on proof of them starting it. But yeah,
I'm just gonna say this. This whole server is just full of admin abuse. Like that's all the mods do. They just abuse their admin because they feel
Quite
like it.
literally.
In reality, they got nothing going on in their lives to. So
Exactly.
they
I
just
think
they just build people off on the internet.
their server is the definition of admin abuse.
okay.
If you get on the
Quite
admin abuse side,
literally.
you avoid it.
So, would any of you recommend this community to anyone looking for a solid, strong community for a fighting game?
No,
No, not at all.
No.
If they
absolutely
don't,
not.
if they can't even handle one of these small things, what like they can't handle anything. We're better
Really
admins.
can't.
Question. If
Uh-huh.
we have someone from another clan actively trying to join our clan to actively try and get eyes in our clan, something we used to do in our old game, is that not considered a form of uh I
Toxicity?
want to no, I want to say targeting, but it's like potential targeting.
Yeah, I'd kind of see it as that.
Okay.
Based off the information that we have already, it would be considered targeting because one, they're trying to get into our server, see who we have, and then proceed to find all of our accounts so they can then target us whenever we join a game. That's what they're gonna do.
Right. No more questions. I'm just going to re-elaborate everything that I already asked. Well, a few things that I already asked. So, am I
Try
a
that again.
self-centered, egotistical asshole?
No, you're not,
No.
boss.
Do you believe I was rightfully banned?
No.
No, we do not.
Does it make sense to remove someone just because other people don't like them?
No, it does
No.
not.
Because then it's picking favorites, and then therefore admin abuse.
Okay. I will conclude this video now. Thank you all for coming out. So, Jake, you already know the situation between me and the mods.
Yes, I'm very aware.
You are also aware of the situation between TRM and ashen, or whatever they want to be called.
Yes.
Okay. So, I actually don't know if you already saw the screenshot, but Gojo called me a lot of names, and one of them, honestly, gonna use you as more proof on why I'm not what he called me, just because I already have 30 minutes recording of that. But anyway, of the other stuff. But anyway, he called me a self-centered, egotistical asshole. What is your opinion on that?
Completely false.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Well, you've been with me through some of my hardest times, as I have been with you. You don't treat this clan like a clan. You don't treat us like your minions. As I've seen it, and in my personal opinion, you treat me like a little brother, and I could never ask for anything more.
Okay. I appreciate that. So, as far as egotistical goes, I know I have a little bit of an ego. Everyone has a little bit of an ego when it comes to a game that they play that they're relatively good at or that they like. Everyone has some kind of ego.
Yes, that is true.
When I have shown my ego, was it through an attack or through defense?
It was all through defense. You only lash out at people and act in this toxic way if prompted by either toxic behavior or language.
Hmm. Okay. And when it comes down to it, right? Do I am I overall respectful to those who deserve it?
Yes.
Okay. Some more things Gojo said about me is that that I have no redeeming qualities to my toxicity. What do you think about that?
Once again, I do not believe that because this toxicity is in a form fighting for a greater cause that honestly should, in my opinion, have been dealt with already. Because teaming it and this toxic behavior of basically harassing players in an unfair advantageous way is just completely unacceptable, and it's good to give them what they deserve.
Right. And so we already know the reason why we are an anti-team or clan is because despite it being an open world PvP game, the game itself is centered around 1v1s. If you outnumber someone and you have a decent grasp of how to play the game, you are guaranteed a win. Doesn't matter how good the other person is. And with that being said, that is why we are an anti-teaming clan, because we want to give people their chance to play fairly. And you can't always like people the in these teamer clans that are accepting it are all like, "Oh, well, you could just server hop, just leave the server and go to a new one." But the crazy thing is the anti-teaming system where the bar turns yellow instead of red, that is not entirely accurate, because you remember when we got 10v2'd against the Fallen Stars group?
Yes, I remember vividly.
It was a 7v1 for me and a 3v1 for you, I believe. Right?
Yes.
Right. And so and it was 7 people on me and I had a yellow bar. I had a 50 kill streak and I lost it after I died despite the bar being yellow the entire fight even when I died. So the anti-teaming system is clearly not efficient, and due to that, that's why an anti-teaming clan needs to exist. So, what you already know about Ashen or Ashen or whatever they're pronounced as, you already know how they've been harassing us, correct?
Yes, I am aware. It's not just us. Any player, they travel around in groups. No matter what, I have never seen an Ashen member alone. They simply travel around in groups, never try to 1v1 anyone. Instead, they just harass every player on the server by teaming them in either 2v1s, 3v1s, or 4v1s.
Right.
Anyone who tries to intervene becomes a target as well.
Right. And is it not a fact that they have been targeting us and our wars with them was strictly through defense?
Yes, our wars with them were through defense, and as well as members getting attacked.
So
I
sorry to cut you off. What is your opinion on the fact that one of the mods is actually in Ashen? Actually, two of
well,
the mods. I believe Draco is a mod as well.
I find that very, very upsetting because if we're considering what the core purpose of this game is, if we have people of the game, even in the community, if they are not involved in development or anything, and they are currently breaking or bending rules that are placed there for a reason to make the game fun for everyone, it is completely unacceptable.
Right. The mod Riza Tiz, or however, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to pronounce that user. That mod is a member of Ashen, and I have proof of it. They were there during the war that we had, the very first one. It was the Akuma that I fought and beat in the video. Now,
We also have had to deal with several testers.
right, but not just that. She was a mod. And is it not a fact that if a mod is in a clan of any sort, there will 99.99% chance there will be some kind of bias towards said clan?
Towards opposing clans, you mean?
No, towards Ashen. Like there will be a bias being like, oh, you have something against Ashen, well now I have something against you.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yes, this
I
is
am
this is
going to
very
send you screenshots. I want you to tell me what you think of these.
understood.
Ashen members talking to a person who was shut up by the mods who are involved with said clan.
Our leader is gone, Red. I'm sorry, could you explain this to me a little more? I might need a
The
small
leader
bit more.
of Ashen was under investigation or whatever by the mods and was about to be banned. And JSD says, you forget we have an alternative, meaning they have a way to bypass the ban.
Hmm. And looking at this second one.
You signed your death waiver when you joined this server. Said by I can't read that, but anyway, it's a green person.
Yeah, the green person.
Does that not show targeting, and does that not show bypassing bans?
Yes, that shows a clear um targeted hate because and I don't understand where this would be coming from because I believe that their teaming methods and the way they team makes it so this has been an issue for a very long time and it's sort of a corrupt um process because I have not seen these people be nice at all.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, what do you think about the mod being, uh, hang on a second, sorry. What do you think about Ashen having the, involvement with the mods and the mods going behind the rules and behind behind the stage and all that, so that way they can let the Ashen members off the hook. For
Forgive me for
example,
bringing this up because it is a good comparison. Uh, I'm going to sound very nerdy here, but the Magna Carta was placed for a reason. It was to make sure the king had to put his own restrictions on himself. and I'm not seeing any of that in the community right now because mods are able to bypass their own rules, which not only sets a bad example for any new players, but also for members of the community that have been around for a while, because even if they know the rules are there, they see people of power bending and breaking these rules, then they decide, hey, I can bend and break these rules.
Right. And so what is your opinion, okay? Would you suggest to any new player to join this community, knowing everything that they're doing?
They can play the game, but joining the community is not a well-designed idea because new players are not usually treated well, and
Well,
many of
exactly. You get a white name and now you have the entire server against you. And you
Mhm.
say anything that's even remotely disagreeing with any of the mods for any point at all, they'll give you a clown roll.
That is true. I have not had the quote-unquote unluck of being in the clown role yet, maybe because I just don't talk in there. But
I got banned because for literally no reason at all. There is a video and screenshot proof of evidence of Gojo saying that I literally broke no rules, but he just wanted me to get banned because a few people didn't like me. What is your opinion on that?
if these few people are of Ashen, that's
They
once
are.
again
They are, by the way. They are.
that goes back to
They
the
were
clear
responding to my
bias.
video. They were responding to my video, and they are part of Ashen. The entire group of Ashen was in the official AB server, pinging me 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 9 times, talking shit while I was telling the mods to do their job. They refused. I told 3 of them to do their jobs, and they all refused. And
So
because
they
of this,
start this
I
harassment.
decided I was going to respond because I did what they wanted me to do and they didn't do their end of the bargain, so I did what I wanted to do. And I responded, and I got banned.
Banned for retaliation when the
Literally.
when the person who starts this gets away scot-free is a complete bias and completely unacceptable to a person in position of power. We have a balance in power for a reason, and if we are letting it get out of control and imbalance and having people show bias towards other groups of people without fair justice rules, then we are going to fall apart. We're not going to be able to get any choices down.
Right. And the uh the fact that me getting banned for absolutely no reason at all, other than the fact that a few people dislike me. Those few people being the Ashen members. What does that have to say about Ashen? Because here's what I noticed. Notice how TRM, X Core, Snowfall, you could argue Snowfall, but not really because they just joined because they're not their own clan anymore. They're with us now.
They're
Um,
merged. Yes.
right. So X Core, Ashen, TRM, we're the 3 only clans that I can think of in Alternate Battlegrounds. So I have a theory. I think that maybe every single time a clan comes up that proves to be capable of beating Ashen, they do everything in their power to get their mod that they have to get said clan removed in any way possible, and in this case, them trying to cripple the leader.
Yes, we have shown clear ability to be able to beat all of their members in 1v1s. Maybe not me specifically, some I do struggle with, but as a whole, we
Not
have
just
shown
1v1s, but I mean war capabilities. Like, my theory is us being able to beat them in wars. I think that's the reason they did everything they could to get me banned.
Yes, I could see this theory because they have shown main interest in not just the clan, but in you specifically, which shows they want to take down the head. But taking down the head only makes us angrier, and this causes more issues because, once again, this is a completely unjust use of power and use of a member who basically is being used as a government, not government, this is not a government, but as a power puppet, a puppet used to just gain positions of power.
And so, what do you have to say about them covering up the fact that Ashen literally said multiple times to multiple different people in chat that they are targeting people and they will target people? What? And then the mods covering that up. What do you have to say about that? About the mods to that?
You disgust me right now. I'm sorry to say it, not you, Bile. If we're talking directly to the mods, this is completely unacceptable. You guys want to have a thriving, successful game, but every successful game needs limitations. You cannot, under any circumstances, let these limitations be bypassed. Because once it's bypassed once, it becomes twice, 3 times, and then the rule doesn't exist.
Hmm.
And then we have back to targeting.
And so, what is the reason? Do you know the reason why targeting is bannable?
Targeting is bannable is just because it ruins the experience for a player. If a player is shown to want to play the game or enjoy themselves and are actively leaving servers, going to different ones, or even has the unluck of accidentally joining a member that is a targeter of these people by memorization of usernames as well, then they cannot have fun. And when they can't have fun, they lose interest in the game. And as
And
for
then they
that,
lose the game.
for the mods, it becomes it's an extreme downside because even if some of the mods show bias, they are now losing members of the community
Well, here's
because
just how it works. If you have 100 good mods and 1,000 bad mods, you now have 1,100 bad mods because the good mods chose to overlook the bad mods.
they don't really have a choice.
No, they do. They can easily go to the owner, be like, "Yo, you picked the wrong mod. This mod is biased."
That is true. I didn't consider that.
And them choosing not to do that makes them just as guilty. If here's a good way of putting it. Jake, if someone killed you and I watched it, but I'd never told a cop, I never told no police officers, does that not put me in some kind of wrong?
That makes you an accomplice.
Right. And it's the same thing with the mods. You have 100 good mods, 1,000 bad mods, and the good mods don't do anything about the bad mods. You now have 1,100 bad mods.
Yes.
Okay. Now, back to the insulting paragraph that Gojo decided to send me. A self-centered, egotistical asshole who can't see past his own ego. Stuff like that. Okay. What are... And he also said that I have no redeeming qualities, as I already stated before. So, I am going to ask you, since you are one person, I only asked the others to give me one, because there was 4 of them. So I'm going to ask you, can you think of 3 redeeming qualities to my quote-unquote toxicity?
Loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You show complete dedication to the purpose of this clan and
Mm-hmm.
to members who are in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
This place feels more like a family than an organization.
Mm-hmm.
And for number 2, coming up with these on the spot is difficult, but
Well, that I was counting those as individuals. I counted that as already
oh,
3.
yeah. Yeah, that counts as 3 already, I suppose, but I definitely have more.
I
You
mean,
show
as me
restraint
personally
and
towards other people. If I'm self-centered, right, would I have helped you with any of the situations that we discussed before that I'm not going to expose?
well, you wouldn't. I would have helped you, and you would have just been like, "Sucks, man. Yeah, I can't do shit." But instead, you chose to help me, and I'm very grateful for that.
Would you tell would you what is okay, no bullshit. What is your honest to God opinion of me? This is from friend to friend, not leader to member. I will not do anything bad or anything. It'll all just be water under the bridge. What is your genuine opinion of me?
We're like yin and yang. We're perfect for each other, honestly. Not that sounds.
That sounds very
It does, but
sorry, I don't swing that way, bro.
it's not what it means. No, but you are definitely a person who's helped me as this might get a little personal, but I am a person who suffers from a lot of social anxiety. And when I first joined this clan, I thought I was 100% not going to fit in. What you've done for me and what you've taught me has helped me so much in the online community. And I
Mhm.
am just so happy to have that.
And let's go dive into the game real quick. So, before you joined, when I first met you, what was your skill compared to me?
Uh, it's hard to remember. I'm
From
pretty
what I
sure I
can,
got my ass whooped.
yeah, from what I remember, you could hardly touch me. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And then, what are you to me now?
we are close to equals.
Not just that, but what do I always call you when I compare you to me?
My duo.
Right. I helped turn you from one of the worst players I've seen, no offense.
No, none taken, bro. I sucked.
One of the worst one of the worst players with a relatively decently high kills to damn near my equal.
Yeah,
And do you think that was because you joined my clan, or do you think that was just whoop-de-doo coincidence?
it was from the clan.
Hmm. How so?
Well, for one, I probably would have not spent so much time focusing on technical logistics of the game, stuff that matters, like hitboxes or time frames. I would mostly just play, complain, and then rage quit. Uh,
Hmm.
but on top of that, you've I've definitely learned how to deal with some of the bad qualities of the game, and I've also learned pretty much every damn character, not just from myself, but from a bunch of people. I've gotten information during battles and practice fights,
Hmm.
stuff that I wouldn't be able to get on my own.
What is something that I host every now and again? It's supposed to be every week, but it's now like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. What is something that I host?
You host training,
Right. Training for who?
training for the entire clan, not just for one person.
Hmm. Do I show any true biasness to any of my members?
No, everyone gets criticism. Everyone is given what they need to improve on.
You as my duo, you have seen my bad sides. You have seen my good sides. You have
Yes.
seen me at my worst, as in my most toxic, most quote unquote self-centered way. Do you
Yes.
think that is me every day? Do you think that is my all the time thing? That's just my main personality.
Absolutely not. When we get together in trainings or even on game nights, it's a great experience because you're a very laid back person when it comes to this kind of stuff, when it comes to friendships.
Hmm. What do I do at the end of every training session to keep every member, not only to teach them things, but to let everybody have some kind of fun? What do I do at the end of every training session?
Oh, you do raid boss, you become a Broly, and we all have to fight you with one life.
And normal characters, right?
Yes.
And what is the goal?
The goal was just to beat you.
And what is the future goal? Like the end of, so it's to teach you guys something as well. It's to beat me. And when you beat me, that proves that you are getting better at what you're trying to learn. Now, what is it that you're trying to learn?
Teamwork.
Hmm. That would be correct. Now, everybody is aware we are an anti-teaming clan, yet somehow us doing the teaming on teamers makes us hypocritical. What do you think about that? Do you
I
think
think it's
we're the
absolutely
hypocrites, or do you think they are
it
the
is a
hypocrites?
it is a double standard. They support teaming, but only when it is done by them.
Hmm.
When they
And
when
them
others
calling
simply
us
do it,
hypocrites,
you.
the definition of a hypocrite is to do exactly what you claim you dislike. But
Yes.
the other way of being a hypocrite, like the definition of a hypocrite as well, is literally what they do. Like you team and then you complain about it when it happens to you. If you're teaming and then you get teamed on, then don't complain because you did it. But complaining about it
You
makes
gave
you the
yourself
hypocrite.
you gave yourself an unfair advantage, and that unfair advantage needs to be crushed. And if that means using unfair tactics, in which I still mainly I teaming is definitely something I will never do on a player that is innocent or has shown qualities such as new stuff. If I see a player teaming and they're new, I will stop in my tracks and I'll give them an explanation. If it is someone who's actively ruining the experience for other players, they need to be stopped. And the only way to stop teamers is to become sort of their karma.
Is to become the only way to beat them is to become 'em. Because here's the facts. If you're teaming or if you're fighting against any actual semi decent teamer,
Yes, you're losing. Doesn't
but
matter if you're the
if
best
you are
player in the
fighting against any teamer at all that has a group, they're 3v1ing someone. You then get two people in, so you plus two other people makes a 3v3 to even out the odds. Oh, now all of a sudden, they have four people. Now it's a 4-on-3. Now they have five people until eventually they have the whole server filled up to make it an 11v3. So, how do we beat that? We beat that by doing it first. Would you say that's correct?
Yes.
And that's the only way to beat it. Would you say that's correct?
Yes, trying to fight a server or a mass of people of even just 2v1s is completely impossible, no matter how good you are. Hell, you can take one player down, get all your stats back, but you're still stuck in the loop of them just coming back, and then you have to
And
deal with
you
two people.
leaving, they'll just rejoin a new server. And once you report it, they will say it's not enough evidence of targeting.
Yeah.
So back to the talk about the mods. What is your opinion on the fact that the mods have been suppressing information that should get an entire clan banned?
Suppressing that type of information is unacceptable. It is literally information is the key in order to stop and prevent these rules from being broken. If that information is being suppressed, then it literally never happened to everyone else. And if that is the case, then no one sees why this rule is in place. No one acknowledges it as important.
Mm-hmm.
And withholding this information means that they get away with their dirty little acts of just abusing players, basically.
And does it make any sense for me to have gotten banned for calling them out on it?
No, absolutely not.
Does it make any sense for me to stay banned because of a few people not liking me?
No, it is an entire large community. These few people are biased, and they are in the possession of someone in power who is also showing unfair bias, which is something someone in a position of power should not be allowed to do. They are there to monitor and make sure everyone is having a good time. And having a few members go, "Oh no, we don't like this guy," doesn't mean a ban.
Exactly. That's pretty much all of my questions that I have for you.
All right.
Thank you for joining. Do you have anything else you would like to say before I start the recording?
Well, first of all, I'd say it was my pleasure helping you because this is completely unacceptable, and Ashen should not be allowed to have this type of power.
Mm-hmm. How childish and immature do you think these mods are to do that?
Very. And not just from that, I have seen mods do stuff that is completely against what this game's purpose is, and it is absolutely ridiculous. A
What do
few
you think
mods
about
on
Spirit Kana, the owner of Tridentia, saying the N-word over and over to a person who takes offense to that due to the fact that their friend passed away through offing themselves due to that word?
Well, if this is clearly making a person uncomfortable and you proceed to do it, that is cyberbullying.
Mm-hmm. I will be showing evidence of that, but I probably won't because I am going to keep the person that I'm talking about uh as confidential as possible as to because I don't have permission to talk about to relieve his name. I don't have permission to have his name shown. So,
Understandable.
but yep, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about.
All
I
right.
thank you for being involved.
No problem, dude.
He says he caused a ton of drama for no reason on the ABC server. I did not cause
Yeah,
any drama in that server. In fact, all drama I was involved in was throughout self-defense in the beginning of the server when everyone decided to start pinging me. I don't see how that's me causing it. If I tell
it's
you, yo, Sage, you're a little bitch, is that not me
yeah,
starting a
and
fight?
like if someone's like deliberately attacking you, obviously like you're gonna come back at them.
Right.
Obviously, but that's not like you causing the problem.
That's
It's the
just me
fact that they
defending
had
myself.
originally attacked you in the first place. That's what generally caused the problem. You simply just responded.
Right. And he goes, he was so obnoxious it was brought to the AB server too. I did not send a message in the AB server since January, so how the fuck did I bring it there? That makes no
That's a
sense.
good question. That
That
yeah, that literally just makes no sense.
that makes no sense at all. Then he tried to get staff involved for no reason in a situation that didn't need it. Do you think that that situation was in need of a mod? Me getting pinged 10 times from different
Yes,
people, all of them
yes,
talking shit. Is that not harassment?
that is harassment. If like 10 people individually are sending you pings, just literally like attacking you for no reason, then it's just like,
Right.
in my opinion, that would be a reason you could bring a mod, because that is harassment, and given the rules of, well, Discord itself, no harassment. So
Mm-hmm. I actually forgot about that. Yes, Discord does
yeah,
have
that's just
rules.
like that's literally just like the rules on Discord. Like, you're not supposed to be harassing other people.
Right.
Discord is meant as like a kind of friendly area for all gamers, not a place where we harass each other.
And reason in
That's
a
just
situation. Okay, he goes, and when he got a no, he decided to go to multiple other staff's DMs to try and get action taken. Does that sound like a bannable offense?
not at all. I just like, if someone is trying to get like this stuff solved and going to certain mods, that's not even an offense. That's just trying to get a situation resolved.
Right.
There's literally no problem with that.
So he goes, he's literally just a nuisance to the AB server and only causes conflict, and that isn't healthy for the server, so I just decided to ban him. How am I causing the issues if I didn't send anything since January?
I don't know. That's just like, the timeline does not make sense.
Exactly, it really doesn't.
Like, that timeline doesn't make sense.
What do you have to say about the mod Risa Tees, or however you pronounce the name, having involvement with Ashen and being in their clan? A moderator of the entire
Yeah, I was gonna
game
say
being in
like
a
there's.
member's clan.
I feel like that's just like unfair. Like, that's
Does
not
that
something you
not
should do as a
prove
mod.
already biasness?
But yeah, no, that just completely proves the whole bias situation going on here, and that's why I say it's just like not fair at all. Because like, if you then have a problem with that member and the moderator is kind of in the same clan as that member, then it's just like, if you have a problem with the member or the moderator, it doesn't really matter. It goes both ways. Then that member or moderator will also go after you. It's just worse if the moderator does.
He
So
goes,
again, as I will say, it's just straight up not fair. It's just not fair at all.
and he goes, and the whole chat was happy about it, so I don't think I'm unbanning him. I was banned because a few people didn't like me. How does that sound to you?
That is not reasonable at all.
Exactly.
That's like when you're in a server on AB and like one or two noobs on the server don't like you because you killed them. That's like them complaining to the owner of the game, and then the game owner being like, "Oh yeah, this guy's banned because two don't like him." Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Right. And so, what do you have to say about things like this? People start shit with each other all the time in AB, LMFAO, right? So that's apparently okay now. But when I used to do it, I'd get muted for hours. And then now when I'm defending myself, now I get banned and then blocked.
That does not make sense at all.
By the way, this is the
Like,
mod.
yeah,
This is the mod that's involved with Ashen.
like, don't get me wrong. I guess, like, yeah, people will start shit in AB. That's just AB. People start shit, but then it's like, the fact that they like take it out of proportion in my opinion, is just incredibly immature. Like, yeah, you can start shit with a person, but it's just a game. In the end, it doesn't really matter. But like, if you blow it out of proportion like this, then it's just completely unreasonable.
Right. Now, from your personal opinion over me, what do you have to say about this message of me, and what do you have to say about him?
Because I'm gonna go ahead and assume this is the message from Gojo.
Yep.
Yeah. So pretty much, all I got to say about that is just like
He called me
one
a
of the like
self-centered,
most.
egotistical asshole.
Yeah, that's just like honestly, that's just slander. Like that's not even true at all. There's no proof of this. He was just at this point making dry claims to support himself, and with the fact that none of it is true for anyone that has like ever really talked to you, people will obviously give you shit over stuff. That's just normal. But like if someone's doing this, that's just straight up like not true at all. And that just proves that he's, I guess, self-projecting, to be honest. That's all he's really doing.
Mm-hmm. Does this not show immaturity?
Oh, it shows a ton of it. Like there's immaturity and then there's this.
Yeah, this is its own category.
Like this is not immaturity. This is just a whole other thing.
Like, that's just crazy. And
Yeah.
the fact that he took the time of day to send a message like that.
Yeah, exactly why it proves to be like worse than just immaturity. That's a lot of like, yeah, I'm gonna call him out. That's just a lot of self-projection right there. That's all it is. He's just basically taking what he knows of himself and putting it on other people.
Now,
That's what he's doing.
do you believe that I am a self-centered, egotistical asshole?
No, not at all.
Okay, why is that?
Well, I mean, just like a lot of like the conversations we have whenever I'm struggling with something, you just like go out of your way to try and help. Like even if you know you're probably not going to have a whole lot of significance in it, you still go out of your way to help. That proves right there you're not egotistical. You're not an asshole. If you were egotistical and an asshole, you wouldn't even put effort to help anyone. You'd just be full of yourself. That's what egotistical is. You just wouldn't put the effort for other people. And given the chat we've had with each other and seeing as you can go out of your way to solve a problem when it's bothering a bunch of people, like that's just altogether the opposite of being egotistical.
Right. So, he also claims that I have. He says, I've talked, or he says, not one person I've talked to says you have any redeeming qualities.
Now, it's either that could be true where he just like hasn't talked to anybody like that,
It's
but
because
like
everyone he's talked to is part of Ashen.
yeah, exactly. Because that all that means is that like he's just deliberately going out of his way not to find people like that. He's just going out of his way to deliberately find people who are against you. That way, the odds are stacked against you. That's all that
Exactly.
is.
Exactly. Do you believe, okay, if anybody new was joining the clan, or not the clan, the game, and would you suggest them joining the community, knowing this stuff?
Our community or their community? Because
Their
if it's
community.
their community,
The Alternate Battlegrounds community.
alternate battlegrounds community. I mean, really depends. I guess. I mean, like, yeah, definitely join if you like. Just generally the premise, because like you don't really have to be a part of the community to play the game.
No,
But
I'm
like
not
if
talking about the game. I'm not talking about the game. They can play
yeah,
the game, but I mean like joining the server and being a part
but
of
like
their community.
still literally joining the community after
After
this.
something like this, and knowing, by the way, because I showed you, Speedy, he
Yeah,
was reporting somebody, and he reported the entire Ashen clan, and all of the mods suppressed that information and refused to ban them, and
yeah, that's
even
just like
gaslighted and chose not to ban them. Knowing this, okay, knowing that I'm not the only person they do this to, Would you suggest
I
them
would
joining the physical Discord community of Alternate Battlegrounds?
no, definitely do not join. If this is what's like being done under wraps, then like it's definitely not a very healthy place to be.
Not to mention the fact that they
Especially if
literally try and bully white names, which are the new people of the community. They try to bully them out the server. It got to the point where I had to get their only non-biased mod to make it a rule, which that mod, I believe, got demoted. Because I haven't seen him in a long-ass time.
yeah, that's just not a community like anybody should really be joining.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're deliberately bullying people because of something they can't really control, then like it's just like not reasonable to join a community like that.
Right. He goes, you go out and act high and mighty with the biggest ego on the planet, and a while later when someone makes fun of you, suddenly it's a huge issue and you need the entire staff team involved, including admin.
Well, there's like one person causing a problem. Like there's one person doing that, but deliberately getting like what was it, 10-ish people to do that. That's just harassment at that point. Like that's just like not even fair.
Not even mentioning the fact that everything of my quote unquote high and mighty is only in the game and is never brought
Yeah, I was
into
gonna.
Discord.
All the we've actually talked. Like the only times I've ever seen you do that is like in games. And it's not like that really has a significance to a person's personality because people can have a different person play it out to be online, but there's a whole different person as someone physical. So it's like that doesn't really say anything. Like he's just basically taking what you say in games very personal,
Right.
and there's no
And
reason.
it's a competitive fighting game. Of course there's going to be some kind of toxicity.
Well, yeah, that's just
That's a
every game.
given. That's literally a given. You can't name me one fighting game that doesn't have toxicity.
Yeah, if you're gonna be playing any fighting games, just be prepared for toxicity.
Right.
That's
And
gaming.
right.
Toxicity in games, that's just kind of like a given. Like you can't really complain about people being toxic. That's just kind of a given. It's a
Right.
game. People are gonna.
But you can complain when it's an entire group mass
Yeah, I was
pinging
gonna
you.
say, if it's an entire group just going after one person, then it's reasonable to complain about that because then they are just deliberately targeting that one person. That's just not fair.
Exactly.
But then having one person target another person, that's just it's a game. It's gonna happen. But now a whole group of people targeting one person, that's just bullying and harassment. That's just not fair.
Right. And as
And then plus
and
like
he
the
goes
fact that they like
he goes, yeah, you made a bigger deal out of it. Of course I would make a bigger deal out of it if
well
no
yeah
one wants to do their job.
well yeah I mean like if no one wants to do their job, why should they have the job?
Right, like exactly. If you believe that I'm going to just sit back and let people talk shit, then you don't know me, bro.
Yeah, like that's just not that.
It
There's
makes no sense.
being the person who like lets this happen. They are two completely different people.
He goes, all right, and then they try bringing up some things that I did in the past. A a suggestive comment and a word Hitler bypass. So I got warned for those, right? Which are against the rules. I was rightfully warned for those.
Yeah,
However, the fact that I was already warned for those, and they're bringing it up now, which
yeah. I was
those
gonna.
were made months ago, actually before this year. Those were made last year.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that into consideration, like the fact that like they're bringing stuff they've already like
Dealt with.
solved. Like this doesn't need to be brought up again. The problem's already done. Like they're just kind of digging into stuff that's not really reasonable to dig into. It's not really gonna do anything for them.
And notice this too. You being combative, right? It's a problem when I'm toxic to these people, but when they're
But
toxic to me, it's perfectly fine.
yeah, that's just, in my opinion, completely unreasonable. Like
Mhm.
the thing is, if you don't like a person, then why, like in the first place, bring them onto a server? Like if you don't really like the person, why invite them? Like what's the point? Um, but probably, Jesus Christ, God. Sorry, my cat's trying to get to the other window, Phil. But probably like the biggest thing that I don't really understand about that, because obviously in order to get into the server, you'd have to be invited. But if they're just gonna make like a huge deal out of this, why invite you in the first place? If we really go back to all of this before even any of it started, it is still them being at fault
Right.
because like they invited you in the first place. If they didn't really like you, why did they bring you onto the server and accept you as a person in the community?
Right.
So just like in general, if we go back like before this even happened, or we go to the present and we look at both sides, there's not really a reason they even did it. They just did it to do it.
Right. And then there's things like these. The, the ban bypass. And then
Which is
proof of Ashen talking about targeting. And then let's go all the way over here. Funny was the most likely to get murked for any situation like this, so we had an alternative.
didn't they also say like an alternative that worked?
Yep.
Which just given by like through those texts themselves, that just
That
means
already proves
they have
context.
done they've done this. Like this is not the first time. And like such like a large community just like abusing their power like this and getting no consequences is just stupid to me. There's no reason to do it. You don't gain anything.
Right.
It's just like I,
He
I
says,
don't
you
understand
forget
it.
we have an alternative which proved to work.
Yeah,
And
which just
there is plenty
if
more in this video here that I'm actually about to send you as well, if you ever, for whatever reason, if you ever want to watch it. But in that video, there is all kinds of proof of Ashen and all that.
I don't know, that's just like this is just completely unreasonable. Like in my opinion, this shouldn't really be a situation that should be happening, but like this is people. This is how the world is.
Looking at my screen, do you think a message like this is viable to be said by an admin to a member? Or a mod to a
um
member, same shit.
I'd honestly
Do you think that's
probably
professional in any way?
no, not at all.
Hmm. Okay. That pretty much, I asked you the same questions as I asked everybody else. That's pretty much the gist of the situation.
If
I'm gonna ask that again because I am now
all right.
recording again. If you, so as far as Gojo claiming he would ask the people who pinged me and everything about the situation. So if you were in school and you were bullying this kid and he finally snapped and he fought you, but you beat his ass, and the teacher asks you, the bully, why y'all fought, would you not say that he started the fight instead of you?
Logically a person would say, "Oh, I didn't start the fight," because, well,
They
human
don't want to get
nature
in trouble.
obviously don't want to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got a question.
What's
What
up?
is something that I tell you whenever I compare IRL to clan-related matters?
I mean, like, biggest thing is, you tend to say like anything in real life, like if it's even if it's like not significant at all, real life still matters more because over a game screen, yeah, problems happen, but it's not nearly as detrimental as something happening in real life.
Right,
What I'm saying, like, you value real life problems over in-game problems.
right. And so when I'm in war in Alternate Battlegrounds and I'm asking for backup and you are watching a movie with your family, do I get mad at you?
No, no,
What
you
do I
don't.
say? What do I say to that when you apologize? Sorry, I was watching a movie with my family. What do I say to that?
I mean, you typically with stuff like that, it's just usually like, "Oh yeah, that's okay. Just let me know," or prior to this happening, let me know if you'll be able to, or like even with like the training stuff, like with all that training stuff, he like, yeah, I enjoy participating. It's just like
No, but
a
like
lot
what I
of
mean is
that,
to the apology. What do I respond with? Like normally,
to the apology, it's definitely just like, oh yeah, it's okay.
right?
Just try
I'm
to
just
make.
like it's all right. Like you're watching a movie with your family. That's more important than a
Yeah,
war online.
well, yeah, obviously.
That's usually what I tend to respond with. Now, does that sound
Yeah,
self-centered to you? I don't know. I can't put my hand
not at
on
all.
it.